the grid, and they are getting set to head out. We are now currently looking mainly down the inside lane here for our Rock Junior category. These drivers getting set to go out. Another 34 kart full grid, over 100 entries in the Rock Junior category. Split them into 6 groups for the heat races. And then now has gotten us to our final 34, the best 34 junior rockers from around the world here. And right now, starting on the first 2 rows, it is all Italians. Luca Bosco will start on the pole position for the main event, only scoring a total of 2 points based off a couple of heat race victories and a second position. Francesco Sabella will start to the outside of row number 1 in the number 188 machine. He'll join Luca Bosco on the front row as the Italians again will lead the field to the green here on home soil. Leonardo Caglioni and Francesco Pizzi make up row number 2. Again, Italy, the flag being flown by your first 4 starters. Row number 3 finds the Chilean driver of Gabriel Bizozero and Alessandro Famularo, the Venezuelan pilot. Him and his brother, the only entrants from Venezuela, and he has put the country on row number 3. Row number 4 will find the first of the kids from down under. Brock Feeney, the Australian, is going to start alongside Federico Cecchi in the 119. And your top 10 here, rounding off with Gustas Grimberas and Adrian Janicki. On your screen right now, that is one of our Brazilian pilots competing here this weekend. And as we move down through the order, the driver now being featured is Valentino Baracco, the Italian, and also here now Jose Perez de Ars Maria. Behind him, Joshua Corte, and here in your view now we will also find Jacob Slabuski, the Polish driver, who will be one of the 2 pilots starting shotgun on our field. Michael Paparo will be starting to his outside lane here at the tail end. The 34th starter just barely making it into the final, but it's only up from there. Michael will then move over to Luca Bianchi. He rolls off the grid in 32nd. The number 110 coming to us again from all around the world. Our Rock Junior pilots now. Leonardo Moncini, the Italian driver in the 167. He will start in the 28th position. Anthony Famularo now, brother to Alessandro. Alessandro a little farther up the grid. Anthony going to have to do some work to get there, but it is entirely possible. Next, Mateus Morgado coming to us from Brazil. He's on the parallel number 170. The 117 machine starts ahead of him. That is Miriana Ancilla Capella, the Italian driver. And then Nicola Placa as well in front of him aboard that Tony kart. He's getting set to go out as we move now into the top 20. Next up, the American, Jace Denmark Gasol. He will be starting in the 20th position, row number 10 for the young driver from the United States. Next up, Davide Cordera, the Italian here in the 126. Already looking down, focused in here for the final. In front of him, one of the younger drivers on the grid, hailing from Florida in the United States, Tyler Gonzalez in the 144. Paolo Ferrari starts in front of Gonzalez. Paolo's been up front in many of the heat races. He's right in the thick of the mid-pack here down on the grid. Giuseppe Fusco's also been another driver that's run up front, and he starts just ahead of Ferrari. Giuseppe Fusco in the 141 Tony kart. Adrian Janicki coming to us from Poland in the 151 starts just ahead of Giuseppe. And then we get back towards our front 4 rows. Federico Cecchi in the 119 on your screen now. Then Alessandro Famularo from Venezuela. And now we get to our front 2 rows on the outside lane. This time, the first of our 4 Italians that make up the front 2 rows, Francesco Pizzi, and starting, or at least helping start our Rock Junior grid, the 188 of Francesco Sabella will start on the outside of row number 1. We are just getting set for the command to fire the engines. The Rock Junior category about to get started. We've got 16 laps on the ticker here for the Rock Junior International Final in 2017. Ian?
Grazie, Zander. Zander Clements all the way from the USA, and we may well see an American victory this afternoon. Of course, only one American driver has ever won the Rock Cup International Final. That was Logan Sargent, Mini Rock, in 2017, which will incidentally be our final race of the afternoon. Little Luca Bosco, the French-born Italian, will start this one on pole position. The 1-1-4. He won here 6 days ago, the final round of the Autumn Trophy. His mechanic, the legendary two-time world champion, Alessandro Manetti, watches on. There's nothing Alessandro can do about it now. His boy fires the kart into life. Francesco Sabella with the orange helmet. 188 has been super quick all weekend, as has Leonardo Caglioni on the second row of the grid. 116. Here's the grid on screen. Pizzi, Bizzozzero, Famularo, Brock Feeney. All the way from the GC, 20,000 kilometers from here. National champion back home is Brock, back in his home. In the 137, they come across the line. As the sun starts to set, this massive football stadium type grandstand that dominates the skyline here south of Desenzano. That's this incredible legendary corner. Every driver worth their salt has driven that curve flat out over the years. The likes of Piccini, Manetti, Schumacher, Vettel, Rosberg, Hamilton, Brown, Villander, Foray, Ardigo. This is one of the most famous circuits in all of world motorsport. South Garda Karting, host venue for this, the 15th edition of the Rock Cup International Final. And this is the Junior Rock Final, 16 laps. Silence almost over the crowd here. The engine RPM drops off. And we're ready for a start. Bosco and Sabella. Sabella with the orange helmet. Pizzi in 181. Here we go, the Junior Rock Final for 2017. And we go green. Bosco immediately rockets into the lead. A great start also by Leonardo Caglioni. Runs in P2. They go down the back straight for the first time. A relatively clean start. I speak too soon because the yellow flag's out at the end of turn one. A couple of karts out in the grass, but they will rejoin. There they are. See who is involved in that. Eduardo Villa and Tyler Gonzalez. Oh, Villa, who was so quick throughout all the week. One of the fastest drivers here. It's effectively the end of his chances. Also, Jake Denmark Gessel. So the two Americans that were looking so good, involved in a first lap, first corner skirmish. They will rejoin, but way at the back of the field. The end of the first lap. Little Luca Bosco leads from Caglioni, Bizzozzero, Sabella, Brock Feeney runs in P5. Bosco down the back straight. Caglioni in P2. Bizzozzero from Switzerland trying to chase the two Italians. Sabella, Brock Feeney. They come down the hill despite the sun starting to set here at South Garda Karting. The track is still quite warm, an ambient temperature of 24 degrees. The temperature now is in the Bridgestone tyres. Sabella goes a little bit wide and is going to come under pressure now from Brock Feeney. Bizzozzero also has lost out big time in that one. Bizzozzero will come across the line in P6. Brock Feeney now moves up into fourth place. There has never been an Australian driver win the Rock Cup International Final. And off memory, I don't think an Australian driver has never even made the podium. Plenty of Italians have over the years. They currently run 1, 2, and 3. Caglioni on screen, running in second spot. Watch Feeney in P4. We try and slide down the inside of Sabella. He's too far back. The rest of the field stream through. Caglioni actually starting to catch Bosco ever so slightly. Feeney doing the same with Sabella. Sabella in fourth spot. The end of lap number 3. The order is Bosco, Caglioni, Sabella, Feeney, Pizzi, Bizzozero, Janicki, Famularo, Charles Vissa from South Africa in 9. The driver from Lithuania, Gustas Grimbergus, rounds out the 10. A nail-biting final developing here. They've done 3 of the 16. Bosco on screen. The gap 0.2 of a second to this boy on screen, Leonardo Caglioni. Then we go to Francesco Sabella. Started on the outside of the front row of the grid. 137 is Brock Feeney. The black flag is the mechanical defect flag, I should say, is about to be displayed to Giuseppe Fusco, the driver from Naples in Italy. A problem with that kart. You can see the bottom left of your screen, the mechanical defect flag. That is for Fusco, who is running down in P29 and is out of this race. We go back to the front. Caglioni on screen, chasing Bosco. The gap, 0.25 of a second. Down the hill they come. Sabella closes in on the back of Caglioni. Feeney is struggling to stay in touch ever so slightly. Janicki, Pizzi, Famularo into P8, ahead of Grimbergus. Shalvis has dropped a spot. Grimbergus from Lithuania has gone through. Sabella in P3 closes in, almost in the slipstream of Caglioni. Feeney just struggling to stay in touch ever so slightly. BF, Brock Feeney from the Gold Coast in P4, trying to break the Italian domination here this afternoon. Luca Bosco, 0.3 of a second now as Francesco Pizzi, who runs in P5, sets the fastest lap of the race. Caglioni on screen once again, comes down the hill ahead of Sabella. Sabella will have to put the move on his countryman ever so slightly because Luca Bosco is starting to go away from this one. This draws Feeney into the battle. Brock Feeney, national champion back home. It's a long, long way back to the Gold Coast. He does not want to go home empty-handed. The Australian hounds the 3 Italians. The Italian Pizzi behind Feeney, then the Swiss Bizzozero. Janicki, Grimbergus now up into P8. Famularo and Franzoso gets past Vissa to round out the 10. Sabella in the slipstream of Caglioni. Feeney, 137, driving as hard as he possibly might. Coming up to the end of lap 7 now. There are 11 to go at the end of this one. The Junior Rock Final for 2017. Last year's winner, Jacopo Guidetti, racing Shifter Rock earlier on this afternoon. Gustas Grimbergus, he's running in P8. He was actually second here 12 months ago. Stuart White, the young South African, racing the French F4 Series in 2017, as well as national races. National kart races, of course, back in South Africa. Was here earlier in the week before skipping over to Paul Ricard to race at this very moment. Guidetti, as I say, racing in Rock Shifter, so cannot defend his title. We will have a new champion in 8 laps time. This is the end of the first half of the race. Bosco doing everything right out front. Caglioni, Sabella. The Italians running 1, 2 and 3. Brock Feeney struggling to keep up now and is in fact being caught by Francesco Pizzi. The Italians 1, 2 and 3. And potentially will go 1, 2, 3 and 4 if Pizzi can get past Feeney. There is Bosco on screen. Born in Nice but proudly Italian. Head of Caglioni, Sabella. Started on the front row, took a couple of heat wins throughout the heats, throughout the week. Started this one on the front row of the grid. We go back a little bit to Bizzozero. He's been impressive all weekend also, has the driver from just over the border in Switzerland. Running in P6, half race distance as Bosco comes across the line. 16 laps, 20 kilometres. Just under this legendary South Garda circuit. That is little Luca Bosco on screen. He won 6 days ago right here. The final round of the 2017 Autumn Trophy. Was the best placed Italian at the CIK World Championships, held at the Paul Fletcher International Circuit in England just a couple of weeks ago. And he's looking good to take a victory here this afternoon. He's got 4/10 of a second now over Caglioni. Sabella in third has to make the move on Leonardo if he's to have any hope of winning here this afternoon. Feeney certainly is losing pace with the leaders. Francesco Pizzi trying to catch the Australian. Bizzozero, the Swiss driver, running in P6. Grimbergus up into 7th. Remember, Gustas from Lithuania was second here in 2016. Further down through the field, unfortunately, after that first corner incident, we have lost both the American drivers, Tyler Gonzalez and Jaysten Marquesel, along with Marcel Kuch from Poland, Rod the Norwegian, Federico Albanese and Giuseppe Fusco was forced to retire after that mechanical defect flag as well. 5 laps will remain at the end of this one. The gap is 4/10 of a second between the French-born Italian Luca Bosco back to Caglioni. Then Sabella. Feeney in P4 is certainly being caught by Francesco Pizzi. Luca Bosco as smooth as you like down through turn number 1 and 2. Down in front of the pits, where, as we mentioned, his mechanic, the legendary 2-time world champion, Alessandro Menetti, watches on. There's nothing Alessandro can do about it now, but his boy is doing the business out front. Bosco down the hill. 4.5 laps remaining for little Luca Bosco. The 114 card, he picked up 3 heat wins here. His mother, Neela, as nervous as you can imagine as she watches on from the grandstand. Her boy 4 laps away from taking victory in the 2017 Vortex Rock Cup. Caglioni has dropped off. The gap now out to 4/10, 5/10 of a second now. Bosco ever so slightly is pulling away. Sabella in third. He's also losing touch with Caglioni in second place. Pizzi has got past Feeney. Off screen, you didn't see it. Francesco Pizzi makes it to Italians 1, 2, 3 and 4. Feeney still holds on to P5. May actually, there he is. Try and retake 4th position if he can. It's a long way back to 6th place Gabriel Bizzozero. Grimbergus, Famularo, Ionitsky, and the boy from Brazil, Matias Morgato, rounds out the 10. 3 laps now remain. The gap last time 0.5. It is now exactly 0.562 of a second between Bosco and Caglioni. Sabella runs in P3. That's him, the 188 with the orange helmet. Jumps out of the seat trying to get every ounce of horsepower out of that Junior Rock engine. Up the hill they go. 2.5 laps for Bosco. He's done everything right. Caglioni hasn't been able to make the move. Bosco goes through the chicane. Runs a little bit wide, but just uses every bit of the racetrack. He knows what he's doing. Runs those Bridgestone tyres over the ripple strip. The sun sets, the grandstand blocks the sun from filtering onto the main straight. Here at South Garda, that was Pizzi going through. The yellow flag is out for Michael Papparo, another Italian who has retired at the end of the straight. There are 1.5 laps now remaining. The gap 0.5 second from the driver on screen, Luca Bosco, to Leonardo Caglioni. He lowers the radiator, the blind on the radiator, I should say, maximum airflow. Now going into that Vortex Rock engine. Pizzi, there is the Italian. Feeney wants to at least get back 4. In fact, Feeney closing in on the back of Pizzi. We'll try and catch that battle for you if we can. Will he go up the inside? He's too far back now. Brock Feeney running in P5. They come across the line for the second to last time. This is the last lap for lightning little Luca Bosco. The gap 0.56. His mother Neela will have no fingernails left at the end of this one. Bosco leads from Caglione, Sabella in third. Feeney wants to put it down the inside of Pizzi to split the Italians at least. Bosco on his way to victory. It will be 2 wins in 6 days if he can hold on for another half a lap. I can see the official photographer Giovanni Cunha down here on the finish line to take the photo in just a moment of Luca Bosco. The checkered flag comes out. The French-born Italian will win the biggest race of his career. Bosco has won the Vortex Rock Cup International Final for 2017. Caglione across the line in second place. Sabella in third. Pizzi fourth, and Brock Feeney comes home in position number 5. The gap at the end of the race, Luca actually blew it out to 0.9 of a second. Caglione in second spot and Sabella in third. Italians 1, 2 and 3 here at the Junior Rock Final. And there is the race winner. Little Luca Bosco from Italy has won the Rock Cup for 2017. Official confirmation, there is his mechanic, his mentor, his coach, the legendary Alessandro Manetti. The wisdom he's imparted over a sensational career has paid off. Luca is the champion of the Rock Cup for 2017. Bosco. There is Alessandro, absolutely delighted with his work. A couple of cars that didn't finish this one include Capella, Miriana, Michael Paparo, Franzoso, Placca, Albanese, Fusco. The 2 Americans unfortunately didn't make it to the finish line, Tyler and Jace, along with Rod and Marcel Kuch. So Bosco, there is the confirmation. Little Luca Bosco wins the Junior Rock Final for 2017. Caglione a superb second. And Francesco Sabella rounds out the podium. Francesco Pizzi did get by Brock Feeney, the Australian, finishing 5th from the 97 starters here this weekend. Bizzozero from Switzerland was 6th. A good result for Grimbergers. He won't be happy with missing the podium. Remember, Gustas was 2nd last year behind Jacopo Guidetti. Still a great result, 7th. Famularo Morgato, the boy from Brazil, comes home P9, and Federico Cecchi rounds out the 10.